think it's time we talked about respect, how to earn it, when to give it, and what it's good for. Seems to me a lot of folks these days don't care much about respecting other people.
You are useless! What are you talking about?
Everybody wants to get respect, but nobody seems to want to give it.
The full metal alchemist is just a little kid.
Don't call me little!
Now I'm really mad.
Maybe in this anonymous computer age, some of us have forgotten what it's like to be human.
Things may get troublesome.
Sure, it's fun to be right. And of course you want to win. But that doesn't mean you get to be a jerk.
Go easy on him.
You can't go around thinking that the world owes you something. Or anything for that matter.
We're all in this together, and if we want to be champions, we work as a team, get me?
You gotta get out there and earn that respect. And one good way to make sure you get respect and get what you deserve is to give a little respect. So before you fire off another snipe, take a second and just think about it.
Oh, brilliant.
Respectfully yours, Tom.
Water. Fire.
Air.
Oh.
I don't know what order
Right,
is it?
Earth. Okay, it's Earth. All right. Fire.
Oh, it's water. You're right.
Maybe it's just a criminal.
Air. Water, earth, fire, air. That's how they
That
do it
went
on the show.
What'd you say, Fenrir?
It's just that it's probably the criminal inside of me, but I just might steal your intro, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Which one? The Toonami one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that was the worst one. Actually.
God, it sucked. God, that sucked. It would have been better if it was earlier.
Maybe.
All right, let's.
Instead of me saying it for y'all, then y'all can say it. But then I was like thinking, like, because I did the poll, who's what bender would we be, and all of that good stuff, and
I'd be a firebender.
Yeah, bro.
Best
Everybody's like mostly fire is. We didn't have no individuality. Everybody was like, yeah. What is it? The fire supremacist.
Yeah.
Dude, when it comes to firebending, it's the most powerful. Not only can you make your own element out of thin air, it's got the best sub possibilities. Not just counting lightning.
Sure, but if you put on some earth armor or cover somebody in mud, then
dude, we've seen firebenders break through stone. I'm pretty sure
we've seen super powerful above the wrist firebenders break through stone.
And with
the
stuff
average
like
Joe
lightning,
ain't doing that.
Like lightning bending, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like if metal bending was mainstream, then maybe I'd go earth bending.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
I'd want to wait till
Korra,
that
but
develops.
You'd have to admit it's Korra's canon. I wouldn't go that way.
Nobody wants to go the way of Korra.
Fuck y'all, man. I like Korra. I like it.
Oh, dude, come on. I like you. Don't make me have to lynch you.
Lynch me. I'm gonna make sure I have a rock necklace around my neck so that it's not really affecting me. Like you would think it is, but I have this like thin layer of rock, and then I got brown skin,
dude,
so you won't be able to
like
tell.
Korra.
And I'm just gonna
She
act like I'm
destroyed
dead.
everything.
Oh, dude. Okay, it stops there, but let's just go into the past. Okay, Netflix. What Netflix should have done. Hold on. What Netflix should have done was talk about some different avatars instead of Aang. So the past is not broken. It's the present is fucked up.
It's the future.
Yeah, the present and the future.
They could have introduced the past avatars we haven't actually seen. Not Roku, not Kyoshi, not Katang, and all the others. They could have introduced a few we didn't see because there are millions before any of them. So they could have done it in any time period world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would have been a bunch of made up shit that we could complain about here and there.
I want to go all the way back to like the first like caveman avatar. Just see how they were. How were they operating?
That's not a thing. They were already civilized.
Yeah.
No. Wan is not a thing. I like to believe the avatar is a primordial spirit of the earth that has begun since time itself.
Okay. I'm not
I
mad
don't
at
like
it.
that. I don't that like yin and
Te-
yang bull crap. That isn't even yin and
technically,
yang.
technically, the avatar can't really exist until people are taught bending. So it's funny, we're getting to an episode called Omashu, which granted they don't go into the backstory of Omashu, but they say
Oh,
the
no.
badger
The
moles
animals
taught
have
them earth
bending,
bending.
so-
So it's like, well, the avatar probably wouldn't have been around yet then.
I
Mhm.
mean, it depends on how you look at it, but kinda, yeah.
Fenrir, you sound kind of muffled, man. I don't know if you can do something about it.
Am I
I mean,
better?
yeah, way better.
Yeah, all right. Let's go.
Yeah, so whatever you had to do that you didn't want to do at first, you got to stick with it now for the rest of the stream.
Sure. It was just
And Sassy, you may not watch cartoons, but I know you do talk about gender benders on your show. So hey,
Oh my.
it's like your avatar adjacent on your show.
Exactly. There's bending involved.
Yeah.
Could that be possible? A water bender, like take all the blood out of their dick, shrivel it up till it falls off, and then transition to a
I
female.
mean,
Sure.
theoretically it's possible.
I don't know if that completes the process exactly. I think that just
I
makes
mean,
them
probably
impotent.
be
I think
like-
that just makes them impotent.
You don't need to go all the way. You can just identify.
It would be kind of funny if you had a waterbender going around like giving all of the dudes erections, just like a walking Viagra pill to help everybody out. It's like, wait a
That'd
minute,
be
the population of
that'd
this
be-
village is going down. Men,
That'd be a
come
good
here.
weapon.
That would be the most embarrassing way to live.
that'd
It's like
be
when
dope.
there's a full moon, all the men are like really like virile.
What about because we talk about how men get sexually harassed a lot, but nobody talks about it. Women just feel like they can just grab our dicks and ass, no problem. But if
They
you had
can't.
a female waterbender just dancing through the streets, doing a little water bending like move, and then as she's like swaying, she's like pulling back, and then you just see a dude's dick just get erect, enlarged because she's pulling the blood. So she's like showing everybody's length, just dancing through the
gosh.
streets, water bending. It's cool. It's kind of freaky. Okay, it's it's too much, but the idea of it,
You're learning all this as you're imagining it.
Okay, let me hurry up, get through the comments, and then we're gonna pull it up. Let's go ahead and throw that up. Jana's like, we're wasting all this time. She ain't got much time, and we're wasting it on this bullshit. So sorry, Jana. Sorry.
It's never a waste.
Okay, nice.
Well,
nice.
unless you're wasting the times of your life, you could have been wasted on doing something valuable like curing a disease or figuring a new system of science, but we're using it on this.
I've already agreed to
God,
watch
we
the
suck.
show, so
We're giving Jana and Copa ideas so they can go role play as Qatar. And
I mean, you can still turn back. You can still leave.
no, she can't. She
I'm in
committed.
too deep.
If a
Hey,
few,
what's on the
if a few
thumbnail? That's a
people,
blood pack.
if a few people succumb to cancer because we're covering the show, I think it's worth it.
Oh my god, they're not. We're getting the cancer for them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're curing this disease to some extent. I hope.
All right, comments. Miss Sassy. I don't watch cartoons, but I can hang out for a bit. I think you should watch the cartoon, especially
Who doesn't
since you have
watch cartoons?
Hey man, some people don't. But since you have a daughter as well, I think Avatar came out around the time I was the same age.
Almost
as
20
your
years ago.
daughter.
20 years next year.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So I mean, she might enjoy it.
Hey,
It's something the
Sentient,
family
I
can
haven't
watch
seen you in a
together.
while.
So there you go. Let me keep going. C4C, what's up, bro? What's up with the dots? What you trying to say? Is this the blue gay avatar? Stop it. There is no avatar, but the benders.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, there is an avatar.
There's no blue avatar. There's no cat people where we got to stick
Technically,
our.
Aang is blue because of the arrow, if you think about it.
No, that's a tattoo.
And
Yeah.
because of how his eyes glows.
There
And
is
enters the
no
states,
blue cat people sticking their hair dick tails in animals, making connections and all of that nonsense. I'm furry
I don't really
adjacent,
get it.
and
Were they
even I
then
don't
raping?
approve.
Were they having sex with the animals every time they rode them? Then
Basically,
kind of
but
logic
we don't want
behind
to
that.
talk about that.
James Cameron must have been some really serious drugs when writing that.
Sammy 3P, Hale, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Hi, Sammy.
Ahoy.
Is there White Bear tell you what you can bend?
Oh.
Okay. What you talking about?
What can we bend?
White Bear is from the country, so what does that mean? He's like the swamp bender guys.
He's
It
a
was like
swamp bender.
Louisiana.
He's the one who looks at the guitar. He's like, "Hey, we're Ken."
So baguettes. What's up, Tilto?
Dildo, haven't seen you in a while, you crazy mutt.
I haven't seen Nosferatu in a while. Where the fuck he's at? Looking good, y'all. Looking at them avatars. So I mean, it's about as as much as that goes, or that means. But thank you, Left Eye. Aang's arrow was first a swastika. He was a part of the Aryan Brotherhood.
Oh my god, he was an Aryan bender.
That's why they had to take him
I mean,
out.
it kind of makes sense.
The firebenders took out the
if you
true
look
enemy.
at the Buddhist symbol of peace, you'll see some sense there. Look it up.
Nosferatu. Did I say his name?
Yeah.
Did you just summon him?
Of the literal devil? Yeah. Yo, why is AJ so pretty? Oh, thank you. Made me feel like
nice.
SpongeBob. When Mr. Krabs said he looks like a girl or something, SpongeBob, I was like, am I
a pretty girl?
Okay. All right, let's get through the show. Jana, you got it.
Yeah. Do I?
Yeah, you're Qatar. You're the mother of the group. We're just following you.
Oh my shoe.
We're not going to do first impressions because it'll take even more time.
I gotta ask, what exactly are we gonna do here? Are we just gonna watch, or are we gonna give our comments, or are we just gonna, just jokingly around voice all the stupidity?
Yes.
All that. You scrub and you talk about scenes and yeah.
Oh man, there's just so much I like to talk about. But
This
I have a
scene is
history of being
so
called
strange.
violent and quite abrasive when it comes to my judging. I'm like the drinker without the alcohol.
Okay, judge less, because we did talk about gargoyles. I know this is your shit, and you just went ham. Let's not go as ham, because there's 4 people here, and Jana's on a schedule.
Half a ham.
So keep the fire.
I'll be a quarter ham.
There you
Quarter
go.
ham.
There you go. Contain
Honey
the
baked.
flame.
This guy overacted. Next.
This is such a I mean, like, okay, so the idea of a resistance in the Fire Nation, not a bad idea. I was a little intrigued when they showed this at first. But still, I was like, why would you let them get all the way up to Firelord Oze just to root them out? This is such a small little ragtag group that, according to them, only just got hope. And I'm like, why are you letting them get this close just to get rid of him? I mean, you literally could take them out right now, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, this is actually one thing that I didn't like, because in the show, the original cartoon, there was a clear indication that there were elements of the Fire Nation that were against their current culture and historical past. From Zhang Zhang the Deserter to Iroh and a couple of other allies we saw through the show. But it was always shown that there were this force in the shadows that no one knew about because they were secret, which was obviously a build-up to the White Lotus itself. It was done very well. They exist, they try to do change, but in a very unforeseen way, because a direct resistance is just begging for death. It's better when you're fighting when no one knows you exist.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, like I said, I don't necessarily mind this angle of people trying to undermine them, but it's going after Ozai just this way. It's and the fact that they're really just doing this to introduce Azula, and it's really clunky the way they pull it off.
Oh God, they really did this. They actually gave us Azula in the first season.
All right,
See, the beauty of
real quick, Fenrir,
right. No ham.
Try not to compare it to the original too much, because if we just did that, then we'll just be shitting on the show all day.
Yeah.
It'll never
Try and look
end.
at it as its own piece, maybe.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
easy.
All the
Really
same,
not easy.
she's very miscast, and not as a
Yes.
comparison, but she doesn't look imposing and she doesn't act imposing. She
Like,
just-
Yeah,
definitely
because my
compare.
comment was very original that Azula was supposed to be an imposing figure. She was clearly an intellectual with great
Mhm.
physical power too, but she used her mind mainly as her weapon. She was
Yeah,
intimidating despite being a little girl, and
none of that is
she
here.
had gravitas.
Yeah, none of that
The
is here.
actress
We're
has
not
none of
there
that.
yet on the on the video, but that is to come. That is one of my issues. So when I say, try not to compare it too much, like at points we will have to bitch about, the
Oh, yeah, it's
characters,
based
how
on
they're
that. Yeah.
portrayed and all that. But as far as like how things are presented, I don't know. I guess, try not to stay on that too much because they are rushing and meshing a lot of shit together and fast forwarding a lot of things. So it's definitely not a one-to-one adaptation.
Oh, no.
But I guess, like, do you
It
think
shouldn't
that they
be.
got the same spirit
No, I
of these
don't.
characters?
I don't.
No, they
That's
Exactly.
don't.
that's.
Right.
Absolutely
Right.
not.
I think Azula is. I think her spirit
The
is
writers
kind of
literally went
gone.
to Twitter and talked about how Ozai is going to realize his descent to madness. No, I think it was Kim who said that. Either way, no, this doesn't have the same spirit. It's stupider. And
She's
stupider
I mean,
isn't even a
she's
word.
border like. I guess we'll get to more of her characterization here later, but yeah, it's like this introduction to her. Like I said, it's very clunky. You let this little underground resistance get all the way here just so you can show her betray them. I'm like, she could have done that way before. Why would you even risk getting them this close? It's weird. It's really
Yeah, because they
odd.
could do a lot of
Unless
damage from home.
Yeah, all of this was simply to show Azula, to bring her to the show. It was clunky, and it shows as we go further that this was actually Ozai's plan. It wasn't hers. So, like you said, Gore, she's just a weapon. She's not conniving. She's not as smart as the Azula that we know. She's just being used, and then she bitches about it and kind of does her own thing later. I didn't like Ozai right here because he just walked from behind a fucking pillar when there's this big
like the
ass
Wizard of Oz.
throne. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, it's me, I'm the bad guy. When there's this throne with all of this fire that you could have shown him like walking through like a real badass, but he
Or
just
like sitting behind the fire, like in the show.
yeah, but he just comes from behind a
Yeah,
pillar.
sitting in the shadows where we cannot see his face, but only his silhouette towering over all.
Exactly.
Shots of what? I got me a mixed drink going right now. So if I get past this, get through this 32 ounce, we'll see if I go to the second one. 1-1-1-1. Shots.
Who's taking shots?
And honestly, the dialogue here, it's not great.
There's another point where the dialogue fucking sucks when Azula's talking, but I'll wait till we get there.
Uh-huh. They're not even making an example of these guys. Like they're not killing them in front of other people. They're just it's like pointless.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right. They just burn them right here, which is cool.
But again, this sets a really this like I said last week, this show has such a problem with setting tones because this looks very grim and looks very PG-13 when they burn this kid alive. And then 1 minute it's like that, the next minute they're shifting to a more G-rated or PG-rated tone. It's strange.
This show is trying to be so adult because it's ashamed of its origins, but at the same time, it needs to suckle on its origins to attract the previous fans, while still taking a dump on what came before.
Yeah, like the cabbages. We're not there yet, but that guy, he did it for me in this one. So yeah, Azula, another
Surprise,
round
it's me.
face.
My hair's down now.
It's adorable that they think that her letting her hair down suddenly makes her look intimidating. It's like, no, it really doesn't.
No,
really
Yeah.
doesn't.
it really doesn't.
When the appeal
The
of
thing that made Azula
Azula,
intimidating. Look, I'm just gonna comment one last thing from that show. One of the main aspects of what made Azula very intimidating was how in control she was, specifically in her appearance. She looked regal and very. I would imagine a very soft and tempered child princess would be. Like she's always treated well and kept well groomed.
she
That was
was
terrifying because she did that
She
to
was,
herself.
but her face, she always had like this evil looking face. It was conniving. It
Yeah.
was maniacal, but it was still regal and elegant at the same time. And her nails were
Yes.
sharp. There were so many
Mhm.
times where they like emphasized her nails, especially when she's bending lightning, and you can see the sharp points on her claws, like she was a fucking beast.
Well,
But
and
not like
she's,
a
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
was
bear.
that's
another thing. When she bended lightning, her hair always got off two pieces, which was a symbolism of her own problems within because she hates anything out of her way. It was well done.
They
I think that part of her allure as a villain is that she is, depicted as being beautiful and sharp.
Mhm.
She has very sharp, slight, figures or features. This girl doesn't have that. This girl
Mm-mm.
looks, she's built kind of
And look,
normal.
I don't
She,
want to shit on the actress. She's clearly probably a good kid who's just doing the job that was given to her.
I don't mind too much
But
just because she's not
she
really a
she
kid. She's in
wasn't.
her 20s,
She
so it's
was
fine.
not. Oh wait, what?
She's in her 20s, so it's fine.
You're
This
kidding
girl
me.
looks
No,
round
She
and
looks like
bouncy.
12.
She's like 22. Yeah.
And Katara's
She's my
17, so
age.
I'll back
Jesus
off on the
Christ.
comments about Katara.
I mean, this isn't as bad a casting as someone else later on, but it's, and I'm not saying this girl is like fat or anything like that.
This is why I don't
I'm
like
just saying,
jumping from animation to live action. These characters are supposed to be kids.
yeah,
Zula's probably supposed to be 14 around this time.
yeah, I think Azula is. I think that her being built kind of beautiful and athletic actually adds to what's imposing about her. Whereas this girl just looks kind of normal. She just looks like kind of a normally built person.
It makes her
No,
capable.
Zula was supposed to be a prodigy, martial arts prodigy within
Yeah.
the nation. That's why she can make blue fire and all the lightning with ease.
I don't think they're aged up as far as the show. I mean, in real life, they are. I don't have a problem with that. You have, older people playing teens all the fucking time.
Yeah, but that's always horrible.
It's
Not
not.
always.
It's
Not
not.
always.
But
Depends.
It is.
these
Do not
kids
lie
don't
yourself.
look like the
Look
fucking
deep within your
characters.
heart, my friend. You know it to be true.
It works in the Breakfast Club.
Nah.
Well, most people don't. Yeah, kinda. But let's be honest, most people really didn't actually believe that those were kids. We pretty much just it was just there to watch Ali Sheedy.
We're ignoring you, chat. Y'all not talking about Avatar, so y'all not really talking at all. But yeah, Azula sucks. Fire in the background, whatever. Look at that round face.
Yeah, and this is where I think she's discovering. This is where she's scoffing at the idea that Zuko found the Avatar, and he's like, "No, he actually did find the Avatar." It's like, okay, it's another weird way of delivering the information. I'm like, how does she not? The other thing is, I know obviously that this country doesn't have television, but I'm like, you're telling me these people have never seen Azula? I know, again, I don't want to compare it to the show too much, but I'm like, they don't ever have like public gatherings where you see these people.
So even
there's drawings of the royal family a lot through the cartoons. So
yeah, but they're
people know what they look like.
I recall some people not knowing who Zuko was or Azula, because as you get to like the lower class, they don't have close ties to the.
Well, it's not exactly they didn't know. You
royal
have to
family.
remember, Zuko's pretty much disfigured, and he pretty much cuts his hair in such a way that makes him stand out as not, royal.
I can understand people.
Plus, with his personality, you really wouldn't believe that he's part of the royal family. You think he's some war-torn kid.
All right,
and that was very great for the earthbending arc.
This was it was all right. Aang's trying to do his best to like teach her give her the words that his mentors, the monks gave him as far as bending. He don't know how to fucking water bend. But he's just like, well, maybe this shit can help you out. There was something I missed on the first episode. She was water bending when Sokka was trying to catch the fish. She was actually bending a fish and kind of got it in the air.
Yeah.
So that's something that's inconsistent here. It did show her in the animation have some type of skill as being self-taught, whereas in this show, she don't know shit. And then Aang is doing his best to like give her a little tidbits here and there. And
actually, even in the cartoon, she didn't really know shit. She was just going with the motions.
Well,
but the way she was learning made sense.
She was more advanced in the. I mean, she wasn't advanced, but
she
she could do a little bit more in the early.
But she was learning
animated
from
episodes. This
from
one
a
they
state
make her
of
go from like
nature.
0 to 60 from one, like literally in the first episode, and now she's like already getting really good.
Yeah, that's because they skipped a lot of season 1 was a lot of build-up arc for Katara when it came to her powers, which made sense the way she was learning because it was in a how can I say it was in unlike other benders who probably had an environment of nurture, she was basically being hunted around the world. So she had to develop fast. You know, like those
Jolie
people who
never
would develop
flopped.
better
What up,
in
bro?
war fields than in actual real life.
Plus those knees.
It does bug me a bit that they don't show Aang waterbend here or even try.
Yeah.
Aang has yet to even become a character at this point. Like it's his whole character here is just doubt. And it's like,
didn't they literally say that he was going to be to follow spirits around instead of being an adventurer? So he's not really a character. He's just whatever the script tells him to be.
He's kind of
not
a plot. He's
person.
kind of a plot device. He's kind of just a plot device.
Katara's only as good as they need her to be in this show.
Yeah,
Joni.
I enjoyed watching Aang be better at her in bending like right away in the show or the cartoon.
Yeah, it added something to her dynamic. Water came easy to him, and it annoyed her.
And it was great
and...
in the. You saw the scroll episode. It was great on that, specifically on her character. People say she was shitty because of that episode, but that's not true.
No, it showed something very natural to young people. Is that if someone's better than you, you get competitive and jealous. And Katara's competitive
and
side is actually part of her
things.
character. That's really interesting. I like that part of her, and it's not here.
Yeah, and it showed that she can be stupid too because she robbed a scroll from a bunch of dangerous pirates.
Yeah, we skipped that.
Not actually stopping to think that these very dangerous men with no qualm with killing would actually probably not like that.
Man, I like this Aang kid. Like, they not giving him much to work with, but
he's casted well. He could be really good.
His look is good. He's directed terribly.
Yeah. Well, that's
Although
I'm not
blaming
him. I
don't think the actor does emotional looks good. In their moments that I know that he's supposed to be emotional, like sad, and so I just don't feel it with him.
Now at this part, Sokka, I need more from this fucking character, man. Because Katara was like, huh?
You need more chin?
No. I need more, man. I need more boasting, like full of himself, more ego. Katara's like, I liked her talking about Suki, and she was like, but I don't see what she liked in you, what she saw in you. I forgot what the fuck he said, but I'm like, that was the perfect time for him to like start flexing, showing the muscles or some shit, like trying to get some of that humor from Sokka in there.
Let me tell you something, man.
Trying.
This Sokka ain't it, man. Sokka was the king of the show. Here he's just a spectator.
Yeah, he's in the show. They characterized him mostly in the show as being kind of overcompensating a bit because it's like he exudes confidence, but there's a lot of insecurity in him too. In this, they really just mostly make him insecure.
Yeah,
he almost seems like he gets worse over the course of the show. Like he starts confident and gets more insecure. And I mean, and
Yeah,
there's
he
something else
had
they
that,
start
but
doing in this. They do something else in this episode. They begin doing it that I really found
yeah, but that's not
annoying.
all Sokka is. Sokka's a lot more. He's an inventor. He's brave. He's a warrior. He's selfless. He has more than just what was shown here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zhao.
And you know what's the worst part? There's something I really have to tell you later. That's gonna put a lot of salt in the wound.
Is this the part? Is this right after Azula? Because I've been looking at the chat. I haven't even really been looking at the video. Is this after Azula was talking to
Wait, this is
Spike
Zhao?
Lee and May?
Yeah.
No,
Oh
we
god,
haven't seen that yet.
damn it!
You said
That
it's
hasn't
what?
happened yet.
Okay.
No, but I take back
They
everything I
didn't
said
say
about
that.
him from last week.
As in what?
I liked him last week. I don't like him anymore.
Yeah, he starts to get ruined pretty quick.
Now I will say that because Jen, I was telling you I had fell asleep on the show at some point. I forgot what episode, but when I woke up, they were at the part where he was trying to kill the koi fish, and I was feeling that episode. And
it could have. I would say I think because I've seen that part. It's how you get there isn't good. In isolation, it's not bad.
Okay,
it's like in isolation that moment is not bad. Meaning it's kind of one of those moments that when you watch the rest of it, it's kind of frustrating because you're like, this could have been pretty good, but because you've got a good actor playing him, it's just this is the screenplay and the direction for the actors is just not very good.
So that's funny because you say in isolation. Again, I had fell asleep, and then I woke up and saw it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
you were very much viewing it in isolation."
And I was like, "Hey, this is nice." Like, again, I was thinking I want to see what happens going up to this point, leading up to this point, but I'm sure it's going to be just disappointing. But yes, I feel like that part was a lot of live action adaptations have issues or fail when adapting something that's animated or a video game. I think that part was well done. Yeah, we're not even there yet. That's not that it's this episode.
Look at this
guy's
wig
chops.
and whisker work. Oh my gosh.
Son Wukong right there. Sokka and Zuko were the best parts of this Netflix show, but there's some off moments like
I don't think so. No.
Sokka's the worst.
I thought Zuko kind of sucked. I didn't like him.
They both sucked ass, man.
Like Sokka, I
has
think
potential.
I think Sokka's actor, his performance gets a little better over the course of the show. I don't think he's characterized well at all. I really think the only great casting in this is, Suki from the last episode is pretty good, and Jet in this episode is really good.
Yeah.
Jet, I don't really have a lot of complaints over as far as his casting. I have really no complaints over that.
I thought that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no complaints about him. And Jen, I told you, like, he was okay. Like, you know what? I'll give him, some leeway. He could have been fucking perfect. He didn't have the little afro that I wanted that Jet had, and he didn't have
he had the shaggy hair.
Yeah,
it wasn't shaggy.
He had
it was big and curly,
the Spike Spiegel style.
Yeah, he didn't have that here, but also with the eyes. So I mean, his eyes should have been low. Like he should have been trying to look cool all the fucking time.
Oh yeah.
This dude kind of did it here and there.
It was all right. It was good enough.
It was all right. Yeah, he was all right.
I think it's pretty good approximation to compare.
Your standards are a bit too low, my friends.
Look, I'll give it to him. I think he was fine. He was way better than some others. But I think it was the issue that, like me and Jenna, we were talking about Suki, where this person is this person really that great? Are they really on point for their character's look, or does everybody else just suck and they look great in comparison?
Right. That's like the theme of this entire show.
Yeah. It's like you're not necessarily finding a diamond in a rough, but Kubrick Zirconia still looks pretty good.
They gave all the credit of everything Zhao did to Azula. Was that in this episode, or they just kind of showing the seeds being planted or the beginning of that partnership. I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Not
but
yet.
but yeah, me waking up and seeing more. I got you. It's like, who do you think told me this, and that, and all that type of shit? This was actually during the when they killed the koi fish. That episode.
Yeah, this like the dynamic they set up in this show between Zhao and Zuko is so bizarre. Because I'm like, it's like he in the show here, he's seeing him as an authority, and I'm like, he's not an authority. He's banished. He would not be an authority if he's banished.
Right.
It's like he could show him respect, because he's like, yes, yes, by blood you're supposed to be the prince, but he doesn't owe him the least bit of obedience.
They like,
Yeah, because
don't even like
first,
you.
but,
Granted, if you wanted that dynamic, you should have made him maybe subservient to like Iroh, because Iroh's not banished. But if you wanted to get away with it, but I was
plus
like,
he's still the dragon of the West, so
yeah,
there's some respect deserved there.
Unless he's just kissing his butt to get further along here, just pretending.
Something wrong. We too
wouldn't do
low.
Yeah, it's like I don't necessarily mind the idea of him kissing their boots to try to gain something from him. It's just him acknowledging Zuko like an authority is bizarre, because it's like he wouldn't be an authority.
Holy poop!
Oh God, I am so screwed in this moment. I can't. Christ, so hard for me to review this without comparing it with the old one. Christ, like having someone kidding you in the butt.
Oh shit. I'm almost drunk too, so that shit
no.
hit right there. The dildo.
Have you been taking a picture every time something stupid happens?
No, I started before the stream. I wanted to creep into my drunkenness as we went on. All right, this part right here.
The way Homer Simpson.
Okay. This sucked. Okay. Try not to compare. Try not to compare too much to the original, because again, the tones are so fucking weird. And Zach
you keep making my job so harder, man. Come on.
Hold on. So Zach said they censored a kid's show for this more adult show. So, and when they were trying to enter Omashu in the animation, they got the fur from Appa, and then Aang pretended to be like this old guy.
Yeah.
And so it was like the tone worked. I loved it.
Yeah, it was silly too. Yeah.
James Bonzu, Pippin Panalopsicopoulos the third.
And Katara came right after that. She knew the name. He was like, I'm his granddaughter.
Yep.
Some
June Pippin Panalopsicopoulos. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And that name
the part perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and that name, the way Aang played it actually had a lot more meaning going down the line of the story with all the identification stuff.
Okay, well, so that part, it worked because it's a kid's show. So it's like, okay, they're playing the joke. He let them in.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's like you're mature, but these earthbending dudes not asking for no papers. Like, show me that you're actually like a farmer. You provide something for us.
He has no produce at all.
No
produce.
At all.
Like,
and
he's looking at Sokka, but Aang is there, and he ain't say shit to Aang. Like, didn't ask him anything. He just there.
Well, I think Aang was hiding underneath stuff. I think he was hiding.
They show at the back of it, and they like his hand is just like they're just chilling in there.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He hanging
out. I
like,
thought maybe they hit him as they got closer, but
maybe. I mean, they don't show it though.
Maybe they thought
sentient.
They were
that's not
him.
Me.
Hold on, I'm gonna get there, Jonah. That even left out Zhong, who also is Zhao and Aang's mentor.
Yeah, he's not in this show.
Oh man, Zhong.
He was actually first season though.
He was actually an integral part in Katara's healing ability because it really showed the duality of fire and water.
Yeah, so that comes later. Jonan. Oh, okay.
It doesn't come at all in this season.
Yeah. So
it was in season 1 of the cartoon, but yeah.
Okay.
Plus, it really reflected a lot on how the spiritual world of Avatar works, with how Roku showed up to convince him. It was really just beautiful.
I also thought it was weird, like he passed off. He's like, "Oh, this is my wife," and I'm like, come on, guys. That if we're supposed to be taking this world seriously, not as a kids show, they're not gonna buy that. She doesn't look old enough to be anyone's wife. She looks like a little kid. It's weird.
Yeah, it made more sense to just play the old man angle because there are old guys who are very small and
hold on, y'all not
can
trying to
do
bring
that
back the young
crap.
brides?
They don't really have that in this world, as far as I know. So they don't really do that here.
Well, if you look in the Asian history, there were a lot of those, but yeah, they're not gonna bring this up.
I mean, like, it's something they seem to have in some cultures here. Like, I know, like, UA is engaged at about age 16.
Most cultures,
but
not some. Most.
It's not something
Most
they
of the
ever
most
really
primitive and
show.
violent ones did.
Yeah, it was part of the fun of the original. All that shit's gone for this like more mature tone that
I'm so
they
sick and
can
tired of
do.
people just
They wanna
thinking
do it.
for something to be mature, you just need to be serious and lackling. Avatar: Last Airbender was the most fun-filled thing, and it was one of the most mature cartoons ever. Till this day, people are still trying to rip it off. Even other live-action shows try to rip it off.
Honestly, my issue is not that the show's trying to be more mature; it's that it doesn't fully commit. It's like, if you're gonna be mature, fine, but commit to it. Don't try to have your cake and eat it and flip back and forth between mature and super childish. But they do that constantly.
I want it all. I said in the first episode, anime like Full Metal Alchemist, for instance, it does a great job of balancing all of those tones. This show could have done it, but it just doesn't know.
It's just
it just doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it fails. Was this what you were responding to, Gord? When he said Gordo was very chatty tonight. He was like, "That's not me."
yeah. It's like, that ain't me. I'm only second most chatty.
Know me with the importance of Omashu.
This part is so bizarre. This is basically a terrorist attack, and within like a minute, it's like their behavior around this part is just like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Like, people are like, ooh, he's an airbender. Ooh, she's a waterbender. I was like, there was a terrorist attack just now. Where's all the screaming?
Even
that
the
shit
kid,
always
like,
happens.
Katara was like, Aang, I can't see. Like, that was her biggest complaint, was that she couldn't see.
Yeah, he just blows
As
all the
buildings
shit
are
back.
falling.
That's another thing. He's just airbending the shit out of everything around him, and nothing goes away or is blown back except the fire.
Yeah, he's very controlled.
Gooch, what's up, dude? That don't want to watch the show and get on the panel and talk about it.
I don't blame you,
want to
Gooch.
review Arcane.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm regretting this right now. I'm regretting not having a bottle of scotch by my side.
Bro, I went and got my drink before the stream. I said I'm gonna need it.
I got mine right here.
There's also a really goofy line here.
Smarter than me.
Like, okay, so this kid, when he sees, oh, he's an airbender, he's like, oh, well, you can help us defeat the Fire Nation. Air is their weakness. You could drop. And I'm like, how in the world would anybody know the Fire Nation's weakness? It's like it's like 100 years ago they wiped out the airbenders with no fight whatsoever. What in the world do you all know about their weakness?
And nobody knew about the freaking meteor, so they wouldn't ever believe this.
As well as nobody knows he's the Avatar. They just know he's an airbender. So I'm like, one airbender is the key to fucking defeating the
that's
Fire
the thing.
Nation? That's what you believe.
Originally, even Katara and Sokka didn't know Aang was the Avatar. They just thought he was another airbender. But then with time, they learned who he actually was.
And they was like, oh shit, we can fight back
just
now.
Because
these
Aang
dudes
is
are
an
like
airbender doesn't mean he's the Avatar, because there are people that believe that maybe the air nomads still exist and just hiding.
Yeah. This dude's like, yeah, finally, we have one airbender out of a whole nation.
Who's a child.
He's a child. He's gonna soak up so much knowledge.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing yet for him to. I mean, he doesn't know he's the Avatar. He doesn't know he's a master. He's just like, oh, he's an airbender. We win. It's
right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
As far as Tao,
no, maybe they want to play with the whole air absorbs the oxygen from the fire. Shit.
Hold up. As far as Tao, real quick, since we right here and I kind of missed the him flying in. Again, comparing it to the show, he was one of many who were flying around and they thought there were air nomads. Mm-hmm. Here, he's the only person. But in the animation, he was very capable. Like, he was pushing his own wheelchair. He was flying through the air like it was no fucking problem. Here, everybody's pushing him in his fucking wheelchair. So this dude is not handy capable at all.
They made him
I'm
a
not,
victim for
yeah, he's a
diversity.
victim. And we're not saying the ingenuity that he got from his dad. This is something that his dad was an issue, but also Sokka and had the same issue with his father. So now they're making his dad like I don't want to say a toxic male, but
I would agree with
Dude,
you.
these aren't supposed to be characters. They're
Toxic fathers
posters.
is a big part of this show, unfortunately.
What'd you say, Gord?
I was like, I would agree with you probably if I hadn't seen what's coming, but I'm toxic fathers or like bad fathers. It's kind of a big theme in this show, unfortunately. So I think they are kind of playing into that. But yeah, this kid, like, he's not very capable. He's got a great future in tech support ahead of him. That's about it.
But yeah, I hated to see Sokka talk, not talk shit about his dad, but how he was saying his dad don't really care about him being like an inventor or being smart and all that. And I'm like, hold on. I actually remember when Sokka was trying to give that speech. He wants to be like this warrior leading people and just this booming voice. And Sokka's dad was like, no, son, like that's not the role that you are meant to play. Like your time will come, though. You will be great. You will shine when it's time.
He's basically telling him he's going to have to earn it. But his father was a good father who was pulled away because of duty.
Yeah.
They really crap on him. And granted, it's not as bad here as it gets, but it's like, this is kind of where it starts. They really start to crap on his father. And it really annoyed me. I was like, his father's not a bad guy. His father's one of the best men in the show. It's like, why are you all turning? It's like, why does every father in this show suck?
Yeah.
Because Hollywood hates fathers because the majority of modern writers either didn't have one or didn't have a good relationship with theirs.
Yeah.
To push back slightly, I woke up and saw Monk Gyatso in the spirit realm. So, I mean, he wasn't an actual father figure, but he kind of was, as well as a friend and mentor. And I haven't seen him being shown in a negative light.
Not quite, but I mean, I think they're okay with letting it.
Not quite, but I think his depiction here is
maybe that's passable to them because it's not an actual father. He's more of a grandfather, and honestly, he's an encouraging one, but he has some
legal guardian.
Yeah, but also he honestly, even in the cartoon, you could argue that him kind of wanting to coddle Aang was a mistake. I mean, and so it's like he's not necessarily an ideal father figure in either version.
Well, not exactly.
Yeah,
I actually think the animated version of Gyatso was very logical and great the way it was done.
Yeah, he clearly understood. I think there's complexity to that version of him, and that's fine. And I think they do a decent enough job adapting him here. It's just acting. It's like if they're gonna portray him as the ideal type of father, I'm like, no, he's really not. He's more of a grandfather. Grandfathers tend to be a little more coddling.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that.
Or uncle.
Yeah. Monkey Atsu. Yeah, then they literally shift from like kind of a lighthearted conversation to like now they're showing the aftermath of a terrorist bomb, and it's like, oh wait, yeah, this is serious.
Dying. Is it though? Because we're shopping.
Yeah,
we're shopping for not cabbages yet.
I mean, it's like where's the law coming in and saying, okay, we need to lock down this area. We need to be looking around for. No, it's just like, oh, there was a terrorist bombing.
Omashu. This isn't Omashu. Omashu was untouched by the war.
Well, also, isn't it an earthbending kingdom? Like they should just be able to clean that shit up per quick.
It is.
And contain the explosion.
Filled with hundreds of earthbenders. This is so dumb.
It's supposed to be the second most fortified Earth Kingdom stronghold after Bossing.
The second safest Earth Kingdom.
Okay, that's another
issue.
That's another issue that I have where I don't know if Jet says it yet, if we're at that part, but where they're talking about all of these like undercover agents have infiltrated. And I'm like, no, as far as I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Azula was the only one who infiltrated.
Yeah.
And she
was
got
the
control
only
of the
one.
Dai Li.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
so they
in,
just
well,
got all these.
in Omashu, they had to take it by force. I mean, they basically just defeat them by force in season 2. It's like she infiltrates Ba Sing Se, which that's handled really, really well. That made sense for that city because it was already corrupt. Omashu, they just take by force. But
Yeah.
here they're
Plus,
making
Boomy
Boomy.
gave it to them
Yeah,
until
Boomy
he
in this,
took it
they're
back.
already, granted, they haven't shown him yet in this episode, but they're already saying, oh, he let spies slip in, he became aware. And I'm like, wow, you're all really crapping on his character too.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst they've done with him.
Not yet.
Okay, it gets worse. I was like, okay, maybe they're just saying that, but he's just playing his whole game of just letting them
God
infiltrate
damn
so he
it,
can
they all
take it
look
back or
awful.
whatever.
Even Mai and Ty Lee. They're not
Hey,
supposed to be here.
Ty Lee looks fine. She's not
Yeah.
perfect. She's fine.
she's at least built right. But
But
May, it's like,
May-
I feel bad for this actress because I'm like, I don't want to say anything, but why would you cast this girl as May? This doesn't work.
She's not May.
No. She's
The
not.
color
She's
yellow.
not Azula.
It's like, why did you do that? That's
Yeah,
so...
these just 3 chunky chicks, man.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against them. They're pretty, they're cute girls or whatever. It's just y'all are not the fucking characters.
May is supposed to be royalty. I mean, she is royalty in this.
Her
she's
father's
supposed
general
to be
of sorts.
Yeah, she's supposed to be athletic. She can throw knives.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be Zuko's love interest. And I'm like,
She was imposing.
yeah,
She's like
it's
a god ninja, very agile and fast.
mhm.
Yeah.
This girl is not a ninja.
You know,
Nor does she look god.
we can wait and see how she throws her weight around. Maybe she'll be good.
Yeah,
She's supposed to be so capable and fast. She can keep up with Katara at her best.
I feel bad for
And in
the
season
actress.
2, she was dangerous.
Because I mean, I'll give the actress credit. She's trying to, give off like
And
the
where the
character
fuck
that
does
May
she have
is,
a
as
bow?
best she
Monotone.
can. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
trying to be May, but it's like, oh, sweetheart, you're not built for this.
Literally.
Why does Azula have a bow? She's already a weapon herself. She doesn't need actual weapons.
It's terrible.
For funsies.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool if she did shoot a bow and had some lightning. Like,
Yeah, I don't necessarily
Yeah.
mind her learning weapons. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like the way they characterize her here is like she's
But yes,
jealous
it makes
of Zuko
sense, but
and she's
Look, the
worried
reason
about him
Zuko was pretty good
usurping
with his
her.
weapons was that he liked to clearly use it to, blend in the shadows with the public. Like pretend he's a non-bender or do the blue spirit thing.
they get there. I woke up and saw that, but yeah.
I thought
this
I
dude-
honestly thought blending this Northern Air Temple, like the Northern Air Temple episode and this Omachi thing, they're blending them together and blending in like Jet's
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it works. It's like
No.
they mesh way too many big angles into this, and they
Yeah, I
really didn't
hated
need
it.
to.
I
It's
hated it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
so stupid.
messy.
It's so
really
dumb
messy.
and unnecessary in ways that you guys don't even know.
They think
This
it's
scene made me
necessary.
laugh.
I mean, I know because I've
I mean,
seen it all.
Look, there's actually one major flaw that I realize here. This creates a super plot hole in the story of Avatar because this guy is supposed to be a major provider of weapons for the Fire Nation and a lot of their technological innovations, like the warships and so on. If he's here in Omashu, how will they get their tech and all their stuff?
I think
I
they're
think
just they're making it to where he's just handing off plans.
Yeah, and he's like meeting with these people. They have the little the soldiers that have infiltrated. So he's talking to somebody.
And the really bizarre thing about this, what makes so little sense is like, okay, I get that your wife was killed, but you are in an Earth Kingdom stronghold. It's like you can
The
go to the Earth Kingdom
safest
Authority if
and
you're
most
approached by
impenetrable one.
It's like if you're approached by spies. I mean, because this guy gets audience with the Earth King later in this episode, so clearly he's important. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
you can go to the authorities and say, I've been approached by Fire Nation spies. you have that ability to do that. It's like why he feels compelled to like, I gotta help them. It's like, no, you don't. You've got a lot of protection, man. It's like you really have a lot of protection. It really doesn't make sense.
Zach, you killed me by coming on my streams and talking to other men before
What the
me.
heck? What the heck, man?
Yo, Zax.
Acknowledge me.
AJ first.
Zax, I know those shoulders can take many heads to cry on, but come on. There's a
Aw.
pecking order.
It really doesn't make sense to have spies inside the strongest strongholds. Just, it ruins a lot of great moments.
And that beard looks so bad.
It's
so bad. It's like
I like the beard, man.
it looks like it's about to fall off. It looks like
It
it's
is.
about
It's
to fall off.
cartoonish, though.
fake.
It almost works because it's so cartoonish, but it's bad.
Yeah, he looks like a mad scientist.
No, I don't mind like
No,
the
no, no,
design
no.
they're going for.
This
It's
is
just
not a
it's
mess,
not it's not applied well. It's like, gosh, did y'all put in why couldn't you shape it to his face a little bit better and make it not look like a Halloween costume? Because I like this
all
actor. I think
inventors
he's
are
a good.
supposed to
I
look
think this
crazy.
actor's a good choice. It's just everything comes with something that undermines it.
The watermelon.
Katara can bend watermelons.
No, don't bend the
Can an
watermelon.
earthbender?
No,
I don't think they
take
can.
Don't take the juice out of the watermelon. Leave
Yeah.
it there. That's the point.
Yeah. Then otherwise, it's just a melon.
Don't bend the watermelon unless you're picking it up from off the ground and bringing it over to me to eat.
Wow.
Watermelons are part of the gourd family. So, yeah.
Ooh. If it didn't happen to Mashu, gonna be here. I don't know what was happening in this scene. Do y'all care
He was
about
trying
what's
to
happening?
talk him into like using other people, like talking to his spies or whatever.
Oh, let me
Even
just
though
tell
Zuko didn't want to.
somebody trustworthy. I'll give them limited
Mhm.
information, and that
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah, and Zuko's insistent, no, we'll go, and because he doesn't want information to get back to Zhao, he's trying to contain it as best he can. He's like, well, okay, but if you go in there, we won't be able to help you.
You go, Fenrir.
You'd think, okay. You'd think that these different nations would have different ways to identify each other. And
That's
who's
something.
from where, who.
That's something that I had in an issue that I had in the original show, though. Like when they're in Fire Nation garb, but they have these blue eyes, and I've never seen anyone from the Fire Nation with blue eyes.
No,
And
that's
I'm
the
like,
thing. Your show was actually smart on this. It was clear that specific people from specific nations had very specific ethnic backgrounds and appearances. For example, most firebenders had dark hair and amber eyes or brown ones, or brown hair. But the episode where Aang was a student in a Fire Nation school, the way he got away with it was actually smart. He said he was a student from the colonies. And in other projects, it revealed that a lot of firebenders in the colonies mixed with the people from there. So, yeah, Aang would look different. So, yeah, it made sense.
still the eye
Yeah,
color.
I'm a nerd. I didn't really have a life.
As far as the water benders, so I was like, come on, man, y'all not looking at those blue eyes and dark skin and having questions, but whatever.
I love that these spies are so easily, identified as Fire Nation. It's
yes.
like they don't exact. It's like we wear red, like Fire Nation red robes. Like we're spies.
No, I'm not. You're a spy.
Were the sign? It's like were the signs you wear on your back or the name tags? Did they run out of those? My gosh.
This is more gay than the cartoon because the cartoon knew what it was and leaned into it. This show don't know what the fuck identity it is, so
Zach,
changes pronouns every week.
Zach's in an episode from now, you'll prove to be factually correct.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I haven't gone past this one yet, so
Don't worry, it's only a mild spoiler. It's it's fun. I can't wait to talk about like this episode is boring by comparison to the next one as far as conversation points.
Oh boy.
I had another issue with Jet. I'm just gonna say, do y'all recall when Jet was chasing Aang through the trees?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And
so
Aang
good.
couldn't get away from him. I'm like, I didn't see that from this Jet. I needed it.
Yeah, because it's one of the few. It's because okay, so they try a fight similar to that where Zuko's not allowed to bend, and you're like, okay, so Aang should have a huge advantage. Which the way it's staged in this show, he should have a major advantage because he doesn't have to hide that he's an airbender.
Yeah,
he should
he
beat
can
the
bend.
crap out of Zuko. Jet is an actual imposing foe without bending, so that's a good fight. It's like Zuko without his bending versus Aang should not be a good fight.
And they kind of went back to when
unless he's got his swords. Unless he has his swords.
Okay, now that's good.
Hold on. When Suki was saying that we can't, she said we can't like blow down a forest or move mountains and all that type of shit. So we have to be as good as benders without having bending. I'm like, okay, cool. You put that out there in the show. Let me see more of that. So now I want to see Jet jump through the fucking trees, swing with his hook swords like Tarzan, and keep up with Aang, this dude who can fucking damn near fly through the trees.
Yeah, non-benders. Fighting non-benders need to be agile, intelligent, and creative.
And the thing is, I kind of feel like they had the means to do a fight like that because, I mean, so the fight scenes, you can tell they're capable of putting on decent fights in this. They're capable of, they have a budget to do some special effects. It's like, this is not something I get the sense that they couldn't do. But for whatever reason, they decided, we're going to have Zuko versus Aang instead of Jet versus Aang. And I'm like, that's not as good. Jet versus Aang is a really cool fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And symbolic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the old fights were very symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
I like this part because at least they showed him gliding correctly.
And having fun.
I still don't know why he needs to glide. They've already shown he can fly without it. It doesn't. Why does he need a glider? He can fly. And he also, right before this said, I'm going to try to help these people. And it's like, well, why are you flying over them right now? It's just, it's like these moments are just not handled well. It's like, let's go help these people. No, I'm going to fly and have fun with this kid. And I'm like, can you pick a tone, please?
Which would be fine because he should be portraying that side of him. Like,
yeah, it's just it's like it's out of it's like it's out of order. They should have, like, if they arrived here and then he starts doing this to start, that's fun. And then you have the terrorist attack, and you're like, okay, now it's serious, and now we need to get down to the nitty gritty.
Which is how the show would usually go. It usually starts off fun, and then something crazy happens, and they have to hunker down and figure it out.
Exactly. The heck, Netflix.
Yeah.
So I had an issue. We're not there yet.
Fine.
Yeah, he looks fine. I got a comment on the mail system. Okay, since I brought up the mail system, my issue, I'm comparing it to the original show.
As in the postal service or the Patreon?
Yes, the the postal service.
Good question.
So in this, and they probably not do it here because Boomy is not what is the word I keep fucking I'm messing up on? Like introduced. Boomy is not introduced in this episode, but in the cartoon he talks about how he had a friend, and he talks about how he had a friend from the Earth Nation, the Earth Kingdom, and he was a wild boy, he thought outside the box. But here he has no recollection of this friend. He's just here and they had good food. I remember him saying that. But like, no. Hey, I had a friend back in the day. He was real cool. And we used to
another example
slide on the postal system. And
they showed the ramp, but
it's another example of why they're trying to do nothing. They take elements that were so well built that show the connection of it all. And Boomy, Christ, I swear to God, I need a drink.
I haven't seen Boomy, bro. So if you start complaining about Boomy, I don't know. Me and Jenna don't know yet.
Not yet. We are conveniently fighting next to some water.
Yeah, really. It's like they didn't even come near a stream. It's just like, oh, thank God there's a puddle there.
How is that the only puddle of water in the middle of no? Did it rain? And why isn't there more everywhere?
It's like all you got to do is walk next to a stream, guys, and then it's not so
super
contrived.
wet around it.
The spirits put their water there.
There you go. Fake spirits.
Yeah, there's no
spirit
real
water.
So again, instead of having Katara have to fend for herself with intelligence and trying to go to the nearest stream of water, they just do this stupid crap.
Look at that nose.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? I don't remember him. He's like an ostrich horse.
He kind of does.
Kids.
Smeller bee.
Smeller bee. Look, her finger is literally on the blade. Did you see that? Like you're gonna cut yourself on.
Very safe.
Hold it by the handle. I know it's
her
probably
other hand too.
I know it's probably plastic, but jeez.
Yeah,
it's definitely plastic.
It does not look real.
I like the freedom fighters.
Yeah, they're mostly
they're supposed to be.
I love
kids.
the introduction. Yeah,
little kids.
I love the introduction of Pipsqueak though in the show, and they like tried that with this, but that joke failed again.
It's hard. It's harder to do if you don't have the cartoonish deep voice of Pipsqueak.
That's true.
You think my name is funny? This just looks like a tall kid.
Just another chunky Asian.
Yeah. It's also strange here. Like, okay, so they catch the fire. They beat these little firebenders here, and then she's like, "What are you gonna do with them?" And she actually looked concerned what they're going to do to a firebender. I'm like, that's like, why would she worry about what they do to a firebender? It's like that didn't really resonate at all. It's like if it was, like part of what made that moment work in the cartoon is the fact that you find out it's an old man. You're not sure what he is. Like they're accusing him of being a spy, but you don't know. Here it's like he's clearly a firebender. We've seen it.
Yeah.
He's clearly a bad guy. So it's like, why in the world would she be at all concerned what they do to him? It's like he's a bad guy. It's like this is war. So
yeah, it's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like when I talk about or encourage y'all to talk about, do they get the spirit of the original right? In the original, it was innocent Fire Nation soldiers. So it showed like this, that nurturing that Katara cares about everyone, even though they're Fire Nation, they're still innocents in this whole thing. We can't blame them for what their government or what Ozai is doing.
Well, really, and in the show, it's not even Katara they do that through. In this episode, it's Sokka who's the one who speaks out against it. He's the one who's against them mistreating the old man.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in here, it's not innocent Fire Nation people. It's innocent, which all of the Earth Kingdom, I guess you could say, is innocent, but it's just Earth Kingdom people. So I think that was another issue that they just ran into by trying to merge all of these fucking stories together.
Yeah, and like I pointed out last week, if you look at the runtime of season 1 versus the runtime of this season 1, they didn't have to cram all this. The difference is just 7 minutes. It's like 7 minutes worth of runtime difference. You literally could have gone 1-to-1 if you wanted to, cut out the Great Divide, and you can work around some stuff. I mean, you didn't have to mash all this together if you didn't want to.
I would say this to say something positive about the show. When the episode ends and they play the end music, the like that type of shit, I'm like, come on, man. I feel good. But I didn't get the payoff like I did in the anime.
You're it's nostalgic. It's trying to end it on a good. It's like, hey, I know this sucked, but here's this music you like.
Exactly. It's like, come on, man, y'all didn't earn that ending, that end music.
But yeah, here, and this is where I really started to get bothered with how they're starting to characterize Sokka, because they're almost making it to where like he shouldn't be a warrior. He's more of an engineer. And I'm like, no, he's both. He can be both. It's not an either or. It's like he can be both of these things. Sokka being a warrior is kind of necessary, guys. He's on a journey with the Avatar. gonna have to fight.
And then in the animation, as they're going on this journey, Katara tells him like, and you get to like bash Fire Nation skulls or like soldiers or some shit. He's like, oh fuck yeah, I'm in. And here is just like none of that bravado about Sokka. He's like, we'll just see what happens. This voice doesn't even sound like that. I was trying to be Sokka for a minute. This dude not trying to be Sokka. And yeah, this is the part where I think he's talking to him, and at the same time, Aang is like pushing the wheelchair kid. When that dude should be moving his own fucking wheels.
Yeah, really.
With his hands in the damn.
I think he wishes I was more like I didn't get any of this from the animation. This dude didn't have
the animation didn't have any of this crap. It actually made sense.
That dude was cool with his dad. He's like, my dad's a fucking engineer. He's building.
He admired his father. He wanted to be like his father.
Now, fathers suck. I don't know what y'all talking about. Fathers are the worst.
And mothers are not there because of the father. Somehow.
Here's the other thing. Because they've merged this, like the Northern Air temple thing with Omashu, if the father is discovered to have been assisting Fire Nation spies, he's going to be executed for treason. And rightfully so. It's like
plus it took away a very beautiful moment.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad in the cartoon. It makes sense that he has to help them because he's the protector of that temple. It's like he doesn't have Earth Kingdom members like helping him out. It's like he's the guy who has to lord over all of it and keep them safe. You know, he doesn't have the
because they were they were nomads. They didn't have any kingdom or nation with them.
Yeah,
they were
It's
defenseless.
like, dude, it's like if they find out you've been helping spies, you're going to prison until the day you die.
Yeah, you getting those rock cuffs, and we take
exactly. And they took away a very beautiful message about where your true home is, and about what happens when one group of people is no longer there, but someone moves to their territory. With a very beautiful analogy of the hermit crab. Seriously, all of those beautiful messages were taken off for this crap.
Aang was, I think I remember, Aang was pissed at first because he was like, "This is air nomad area." And
because these foreigners, these people came to his land that was long abandoned and started changing shit.
Stole the jobs.
They were literally blowing up walls of his temple.
We fly
through the temple where he probably went to church.
Make the Northern Air Temple great again.
Well, now I'm seeing. Oh man, I really hope Aang doesn't get a tan.
You know what's sad also is that if you look at their setup, the freedom fighters, all that stuff up in the trees. If you wanted to do the Jet versus Aang fight, could have done it up there. Could have done some cool stuff with it.
Yeah.
Would have been a good stage for it.
Yeah.
I don't know my real name, Dildo. My name is Machuki. Okay. That's my African name. That's my cultural name. Machuki. I saw Black Panther and I didn't know how to act. I didn't learn until later it was shit and it was pandering, but in the beginning, I was Machuki. You can keep it going, Jen. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, here they find the blasting. You know what's funny about this is, okay, so they find the blasting jelly, and it's like, okay, like I had actually rewatched this part because like when he discovers the cloaks and stuff that Jet was wearing that identifies them as the one who were doing this, I'm like, it's not lit very well, so it's like, wait, what did they find? It's like if you just watch it the one time, you could very easily miss what that is, what that means.
I did miss it, and I
did miss it too.
Yeah,
I assumed it was from the father, the machinist. So I was just like, "What?"
The machinist,
the machinist, yes,
the engineer.
Yeah.
Nah, so you know, everybody who reviews a fucking show does this. The show is 30 minutes long, but they spend a whole 2 hours. In this case, it's an hour, but don't act like you're not used to it, Nas. You have no life in your little RV on the beach.
But yeah, and here Jet's telling her, if you want to, he goes like, yeah, I know when you fight, you have to fight with everything. And I'm like, okay, I get what you're all kind of going for here, but this is something you should develop over the course of a couple episodes, not just he tells her and all of a sudden she's a great bender. Like she like jumps
Oh
up a
my God.
level in bending like every episode. This one she skips like 5 because he told her fight with everything. It's almost like it's like how a Patronus charm works. It's like think of a happy memory and you can produce a Patronus. And this is like think of
Yeah.
your mom and you can be a great waterbender. It's like what? I don't think that's
Harry
how that
Potter
works.
nerd.
Yeah. I know my Harry Potter stuff.
My van is down by the river. Okay, I gave you extra privilege. Nas, I'm sorry. I said he was in an RV on the beach, but he's really in a broken down
van.
We were trying to give you that you weren't Matt Foley. You were like his slightly more successful cousin.
The river is not even a natural river. Like it's a sewer system.
Oh,
it's running water. Boost definitely not listening. He talking about his fucking
Copa's idea about her bending diarrhea could come true if that's the case. Oh no.
He has the look down. I'm sorry. I think he's perfect.
I like his casting.
No, the hair's off.
Good.
Man, the hair is off, but goddamn,
the hair is good enough.
It's still very thick.
Yeah, it's fine.
And right there, he has the look. Except that look that he has, he should have it the entire time.
And he's missing the little toothpick.
Yeah, he doesn't bring in the toothpick till later. He only does the
he
toothpick
had it.
thing like
Yeah,
once.
he had it right after the fight. Yeah.
It's missing the toothpick.
Allahu Akbar.
Why does Zuko look like a homeless woman?
Well,
since you said that, I think the actor is gay.
He's part of the Flamin' Nation.
Yeah, he's flaming. It means nothing, but I just noticed in like when I see him in like the press stuff, dude looks very gay. I don't know, because he's trying to be a badass in the show. Look, gays can be badass or whatever. I like the guy, okay? I do. I don't know if he's doing his own stunts. It looked like he was doing them.
Yeah, I think he does. He is a martial artist. I think he's got that down. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Dude is fuck it. I'll take him. Season 2, season 3. Yeah, sure. I'll grow to love this guy. Like, give me more.
If he can ever start acting well, I'll like him more.
Yeah.
And you never actually see Zuko with a woman, so it's like, okay, that's not super important.
No. In the cartoon, he has a lot of game in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you see him with a woman, you see him with May, but I mean, like, he's not again.
Not
like
just
I made
May.
a joke.
He was getting down with earthbending
like,
chicks all over the place.
Yeah, he's got the brooding. He's got the brooding thing down where chicks are like, "Ooh, I can fix him."
There was that girl with the burn mark scars, wanted him to stay with her at her farm. There was that other girl from the Earth Kingdom, the one where he went on a date with. She was pretty good too.
Yeah.
The only booty he cares about is Aang's, though. So.
Yep.
Dude, stop trying to make it gay.
I'm not.
Aang's technically, if you look at the logic, Aang is technically his great grandfather.
It's Netflix. Just that you never know with them. Maybe they made May like that. So, like, by the way, we're not putting Zuko with May.
This fight felt forced as well.
What's up, Nagger? No, Aang is his purpose.
Honor.
This joke fell flat.
Most of them did, yeah. This was cringe.
I hate this Sokka, not my Sokka.
Well, I don't need proof for that. It's like that's a cartoon joke that needs good timing. It's like it doesn't work.
One of the beauties about animation is that the timing is almost never miss when it comes to the jokes.
Yeah, like if you skip a beat in the delivery for a line like that, it's like it doesn't work at all. It's like that has to come out almost as like a quick response. Like that's why in the cartoon it works, is like that kind of conversation has to flow without any breaks. Like their whole argument didn't work. Their whole argument felt really forced. It felt like stage acting.
Yes.
And okay, so since Sokka came up on the screen, it reminded me of this gripe that I had at the beginning of the episode when Sokka carried all the food out, and then you see Momo carrying the food, and I was like, man, Momo wouldn't be carrying food; he would be like flying
Stealing it.
through, like stealing Sokka's, and then that'll be a whole joke, a whole thing. I said that to say, Appa or Momo don't make an appearance, from what I remember.
Not really.
During this whole
No.
Omashu thing. So like, yeah,
Not
the
while
animals,
they're there, no.
Yeah, the animals have no fucking character, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Do you think there are furries in the Avatar universe and they call them momosexuals?
Probably.
No.
Probably.
There's the spinoff we all need.
Yeah.
And the cabbages. Okay, and also Katara's like kind of a dick to him. Like he's like, "Can I interest you?" And she's like, "No."
She's like, no.
He don't say cabbages into that weird ass scene.
They really they're trying. It's a joke that they're trying to build to because they think it's gonna be really funny, but it's like, no, it's not really funny the way you all do.
But I mean, as far as somebody who's watched the animation, then you know, okay, that's the cabbage guy. So we know what he should be saying, but he's not saying it. So they're still playing with the nostalgia, or depending on the nostalgia for these jokes to land. But and I would love to have somebody on this panel that hasn't seen the show to kind of get their perspective on, does this shit like make sense to them? But for somebody who's never seen the animation, it's like, okay, when he finally says, "My cabbage," like, does that shit land? Does it mean anything?
Bad. It was
because in the cartoon, we all know the cabbage guy because he keeps saying, my cabbages. But here he doesn't until he does.
Until he does, and it's like way overboard.
Yeah.
All right, we've planted a bomb.
Got the bomb.
It's like, that's how we're going to root out evil by we're going to assassinate the king because that won't create a power vacuum or anything.
Right.
I mean, I get that these are young people and it probably shouldn't be a good plan, but I'm like, what do you think happens when you kill the leader of a country? Oh, someone comes in and takes their place, and it very easily could be somebody a lot worse.
Or the country just goes to shit and ends up in a chaotic state of
it's like this
civil war.
It's like, even as a teenager, I think I would know. It's like, yeah, if you kill a leader, you're gonna create a lot of chaos. That's not a good idea if your city has a bunch of spies from the opposing nation and you're in wartime.
Well, that's
the women and children are gonna suffer the most.
Yeah, that's gonna actually create the opening for the Fire Nation. Just go on and come on in.
Like, I almost feel like they could have just reasoned with Jet a little bit. It's like, Jet, you retard. It's like, you're not going to do them. It's like, aside from killing innocents, you're making this easier for the Fire Nation, dude.
Right. And in the cartoon, the innocents were Fire Nation.
Yeah.
Here, they're Earthbending.
Yeah, and that actually created an interesting moral dynamic to where it's like, you know, because part of what makes a villain compelling is that you see their line of thinking. It's like, you know, it's like, yes, they're Fire Nation. You can see why he would be willing to do something that rash to a certain extent. You're like, yes, he's absolutely wrong, but it's like they are the enemy. And whereas in this, it's like he's going to kill innocents almost exclusively. And you're like, well, it's like that takes all the gray out of it. It's pure wrong. So Jet's just really, really evil.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, that's the issue with trying to merge all this shit together. Because in the cartoon, they were Fire Nation innocence. Here it's Earth Nation innocence. So it's like, no, Jet, fuck you, bro.
No. The Epstein arrow. No.
Aang ran because he got tired of being played with with the monk elders.
This fight scene annoys the crap out of me because I'm like, Aang, you're a airbending master and he's not going to use his firebending. This is not difficult. You could beat him so easily here.
This set also looks like a stage set.
Mm-hmm.
The one good thing I'll say about the fight, though, is when because they tried to be funny, where the lady comes out and starts like hitting Zuko with whatever she had. I was like, okay, that was funny.
Yeah,
give me more of that. Oh
The fight
shit,
wasn't
Nas.
terrible.
It's just it's highly illogical. It annoys me. It's like the choreography for what they were going for isn't terrible. It's just that it's like, dang, just bend him really high up in the air and drop him.
Yeah, like there's one part where Zuko is about to kick him and Aang like blows himself up to
Yeah,
dodge
that's
with his
cool.
hands instead of blowing himself back to just completely be out of the way of Zuko's range.
It's all just
Well,
dumb.
yeah, but it was fun.
So
Again,
this right
very
here,
low.
this is my issue because in the show, Aang clearly explains, and going back to his reminiscing about his time with Boomy, gravity pulls it down, and then earth bending sends it up. Nobody's earth bending this shit up, but they're clearly going upward.
No, there's nothing about this that makes a lick of sense, even in universe.
Yeah, I think they think it's like a roller coaster, but they forget they don't have technology, so they need to use the magic they have around them to make it work.
That's the thing. So yeah, bending is magic now. Gooch, get on this fucking panel, bro. He has issues. Let's talk about it. Once I saw Aang flying like a bat, I was out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop out too. This is not good for my mental health.
There's a lot of chubbies in this.
I'm here for it. I already watched the whole thing, so I this is therapy as far as I'm concerned.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Boosh.
So many chubbies in the show, man.
Whoever is the casting director must have been a chubby chaser.
And I'm like, you know what?
Craft service brought a lot of egg rolls.
I'm like, bro, we really started to sound racist by saying all these round faces. But like that seems like a real racist term, but it's so fucking accurate. In the show, everybody has sharp, angular.
It's only racist if it's white people, Asian people against white people. For example, when they call white guy round eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
hey,
here, I don't know.
My siblings are Asian. We've got that pass. We're good.
I have no Asian connection.
No, I have 7 of my siblings are Asian. I have plenty of that pass to go around.
Wait, you were Asian too, right?
I'm not. No, I'm white.
Oh.
I'm Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a type of Asian, so yeah.
But yeah, most of my siblings are Asian, so that pass, I can spread it around. We're good.
Nas, I heard that fat chicks. I heard that fat chicks perform better because they got more to lose. They're trying to hold on to the man that they got, so they got to outperform the rest. Look, I don't know. I'm not a chubby chaser. I haven't been in it. That's just what I hear.
No, this is just so messed up.
I also feel like this scene, like there's a better way for her to have stopped this situation than.
Oh gosh, this is hilariously dumb.
Like
this is
right before.
I will say I do like that. Okay, they kind of talked about it or introduced her trying to get this move.
Yeah,
and in movie shows, it's very predictable. You see somebody trying to work on something, and then in the exact moment where they need it, they're able to accomplish it.
So yeah, but in the show, she like practiced it like once, and then was like,
yeah.
Okay,
and here's my thing: I don't like when they introduce these elements in the same episode. This is the kind of thing that the show Batwoman would do. Is they'd have an episode, and I only know this because I watch EFAP sometimes. But they would literally like have an episode where they show her learning to be a sniper, and then they introduce an element where she has to be a sniper. It's like that's what they're doing here. Is they introduce, oh, Katara can learn this ability. Oh, look, she needs it right now. What a coincidence. And it's arguably even worse in this episode because it's the same day. It's the same day in the timeline.
Bending is supposed to be some kind of thing where you just learn and you can do the power. It's supposed to be martial arts, meaning you need to train it constantly to harness.
And you need to do the
unless you're the Avatar.
form.
Mm-hmm.
No, even as the Avatar, you still have this rule. You still need to train to understand it physically and spiritually.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to master bending moves on one try. It's supposed to take a while. It's supposed to be like
unless you're some annoying
supposed to be
little
like a
bastard
martial
baby
art.
from the water tribe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a martial art. It takes time to master everything.
What if instead you just think really hard about your mom? Would that work?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I thought about that.
Martha.
That's how I learned to drive. That's how I learned to drive. It put me
You
behind the
thought
wheel. It's
very
like
hard
you need
about
to
your
stop.
mother.
It's like how do you stop crashing? They're like, just think about your mom. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And all of a sudden I was great. It was weird. My mom not even a good driver. What the heck?
No, all you have to do is think of her, and
I don't get it.
Oh, we just made an Asian and drivers joke.
Upbeat drum and flute music. Yeah, this episode's great.
Nostalgic, upbeat drum and flute music.
Nostalgic. Is that what it said?
No.
That would have been great.
No, that's
Can somebody please hit my head with a hammer so I can forget?
No, you got to remember.
Jenna, she sped through it. She made sure we were done.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just looked up Sokka's actor. I encourage y'all to look him up on IMDb because if you think his face looks weird in this show, it's worse in the photos of his other work. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I don't think any hairdo looks natural on this kid.
Aw.
Oh,
nope.
Poor guy. That is
He needs a beard or something to cover that jaw.
He does. He really does.
That could help.
And it's okay to make fun of him, guys. He's in his 20s. It's no big deal. He's getting paid. He's getting compensated for his giant chin.
Okay, I'm just gonna drop out, but I want to say one thing. As someone who's watched both the animated show and for some moronic reason I don't understand why, I think I might be as sad as the live action show too. I've analyzed them chronologically, both in order, having in numerical sense both seasons by episode and minute. They have the exact same runtime. If you add all the episodes without the opening and the ending song, they have together the exact same runtime. I mean, they could have done everything from every single episode of the first season in all of these 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, all of this stupid crap was unnecessary.
Yep. That's the point I brought up last week.
They could have done everything shot for shot and had got the love of fans plus a new audience, but they choose to go the retarded route.
And here's the other thing is if you wanted to do kind of your own things here and there, like add your own elements, you could have cut out the Great Divide. You could have cut out the Prisoners episode where they made Hawk. I think Haru is a completely useless character.
Just focus on the episodes that actually matter. For
you could literally cut those 2 episodes out, so you've got about 40 minutes worth of stuff that you could work with. So divide that over 8 episodes. You can add 5 more minutes of material of new stuff or new information or whatever it is you want to add.
They literally could have done every episode at order, and it still would have been right.
Yeah.
There is no fucking excuse.
Just about, yeah. They I mean, getting everything to flow properly probably would have been a challenge, but you didn't need to do all of this repurposing to accomplish it. You could have gotten something much closer to the animated version. Grant, I'm not saying you have to. I don't necessarily have to have a 1-to-1 adaptation, but when you divert from the material, there better be a good reason for it. It better work. And it never seems to work with this show. It's always done poorly.
Yeah, because it's run by a bunch of idiots who want to fix the wheel when it ain't broken.
Sounds like Fenrir hates it. 8 out of 10. Your masochism has added to its quality.
I can't rate the entire show. I haven't seen it. This episode.
No, I tried to be fair and rate each episode individually before I gave.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you, brother. I would rather have kidney stones and one of those giant dildos are up my ass and having to watch all this again.
You'll take a dildo in the ass instead of watching this show. No, bro. No.
Can you earthbend the kidney stones out?
Cancer. This
Have
is
you had
cancer.
kidney stones? Have you had a kidney stone?
No, never in my life. But from what I've heard, it's extremely painful.
Bro, I'd rather watch this show 10 times.
Yeah, I'll take this show over kidney stones.
Yeah.
Than a dildo in the ass.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it over that. But I understand the sentiment.
All right, check this out. What's y'all's thoughts on this? Because I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. I don't know the criteria.
I don't know.
But
For forcing every one of your watchers to be participant in this, yeah, you should definitely do a giveaway.
yeah, okay, cool. So
You
Walmart
need their
has
mercy back.
because they got the DVD, they got the Aang series and they got the Korra series, but now they have they've combined them both. And I see it at Walmart, and I've been thinking about getting it. So that's an idea that I have to do a giveaway. Yeah, I don't know what the criteria would be, but I think it would be something cool to do for people who are on this journey.
First person on the stream to get kidney stones wins.
Get
or a dildo up the ass.
Oh no.
Netflix avatar cancer. If you could take a dildo up the ass, an Aang and avatar tatted dildo up the ass. Show us proof.
It's got an arrow on the tip. Oh no.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Does it have a little, like, do you have a little push button glider that pops out?
Pixar, it didn't happen. Okay, if you can show us, if you can prove it, you get the DVD.
You need to patent that.
And then Pix, you get the DVD. For a video, then you get a gift card as well. For it. But that's what I'm thinking.
I dread anyone participating in that.
And it comes with Aang and Korra, so you get to see the muscular brown skin honey.
And you
Look, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be a liar in hell if I said that if I did not have the chance, I wouldn't try to smash Korra. But come on, don't give Korra. Just give Aang.
I'll be honest.
I don't think you're her type.
As much as I don't like Korra, I would much rather. Like that's the best like comp I can get. I would rather sit through all of Korra, than watch and endorse this show because this is a terrible show. This is a terrible show.
Yeah, true.
It's a terrible show.
True. At least you had Korra and Asami's bodies to look at. This is just
come on now. Korra looked good, bro. Okay, when Korra first came out, I knew what they were doing. I was like, okay, strong, brown, black, POC, whatever the fuck. But I was like, okay, this is the Avatar universe. I'm not mad at it. Let's see what happens.
And the first season of Korra is not bad. First season of Korra is decent. You know,
it has potential. I wouldn't say decent.
I also like the I think Steven Ransom was here and he was talking about how the pro bending, how it took away the martial art aspect of it. And I can agree it did, but I think there's more of that show was perfectly what is it, a metaphor, simile, or whatever to real life, how us younger people, we think we know better and we modernize shit, and
and that was actually very smart. If you look at if you look at one particular thing, pro bending is weaker than actual bending.
Yes, but it's more accessible. And that is how a lot of martial arts are now. It's more accessible to people. Everybody has done fucking taekwondo, okay? But nobody's really like mastering taekwondo or really serious or in tune to the culture and, the respect of the style or the martial art or the culture it came from. It's just, we're just doing it to be cool. And then now they compete and you get like points for shit as opposed to an actual fight. So it's like, okay, I understood the show for that, and that made sense. Even though I didn't like it, we just skipped ahead like so many years in time, and this is pretty on par with what would happen in that world, in that universe. So that's why I give the show a lot of like leeway. And again, every avatar is different. It's a different time period. There's been advancements or whatever. So I'm like, okay, she fucks it up. Yeah, she breaks the avatar cycle, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But you can still go back into the past and Korra doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, you didn't fuck up, the word. It's not like
the future of the story. Of
the universe. It's not like you turn in like Tim Drake gay.
No, she just screwed it over for whoever's gonna take it next.
Exactly.
Yeah, but as long as we don't address who's next, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can skip a whole avatar. If we wanted to do future, though, we can just skip the whole avatar.
So yeah, man, that's why I like Korra. And then the
but then
the
they'll have to skip at least 1,000 years.
maybe, but the idea of like if benders or different nations like kind of mixed, you get mixed race babies, and how Mako and Bolin, like Mako had the lightning bending, but Bolin did the lava bending. Because they had one fire nation parent and one earth nation parent. So I'm like, okay, I like to
I don't think
explore
that's how it
more of
works.
that. Probably, dude, why not? Why not, bro?
Like if a waterbender marries like an airbender, like it could Aang's kids
Possible.
like been missed or something? Like how does that work?
Oh shit.
No, that
or
would
they
be a
would-
waterbender and a firebender.
I'd say that's not as nearly a good. It's like, ooh, you merge these two, they get to bend lava. Well, we get missed. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
they have
gay.
increased. Bro, that shit hot. Literally, you
Fog
bending just like
Fog-
water benders can freeze their water. Now you have water benders.
You
that
ever
can
been into
keep their
hit
water
by a
up.
geyser? A geyser of hot
bro,
water?
That's
That
cool,
shit
bro.
burns.
You know what lava benders? They look at fog benders and they're like, what a bunch of foggets.
Fuck it. I'm fine with it,
Froggets.
man. I like that idea. I like exploring that. So, those are some of the reasons that I actually enjoyed Korra. And then in the future, okay, we see Toph create metal bending here in the present. In the future, what becomes of metal bending?
I'll say this: Korra's better than those absolutely awful comics they tried to put out for the show.
Whoa, what the
I
hell are you
hate those-
talking about me down there?
I hate those comics. I hate those comics.
I've only read a few.
I hate
and
some of the
own
crap they did in those
Korra ones.
comics.
Yeah, they kind of sucked a lot.
Mm.
Well, that's what the continuation of the series is supposed to be by Avatar Studios, by the original creators. They're adapting.
Was it
the-
was
I
it by
honestly
them?
think I honestly think they're gonna milk down this franchise beyond repair and probably kill it.
It
That's
wasn't
what I said
by
about the
them.
movie, and I don't think that.
I think it's just like the books where
I
they
feel
kind of like
somewhere M.
oversee.
Night Shyamalan is he feels vindicated.
I don't know if I'd go so far as say vindicated. He made a giant pile of crap, but he at least has something down there with him.
Everybody
Yeah.
that I see online says, "Well, this show is not as bad as that live
It's,
action
I
movie
would
that
I would
doesn't
say
exist."
it's a mixed bag of comparison. There's things I
Look,
would
you
say
can
this
grab
show,
a piece of human crap, paint it yellow, and call it gold, but it's not gold. It's still
yeah.
crap.
The Last Airbender in this show, it's two turds, one has sprinkles. So that's all it really is. Neither are good.
All
They're
right,
both
people
pretty
will stay here, continue watching the streams because you're watching the shit with sprinkles at least.
Yeah.
That's right. We got sprinkles.
Look, man,
And we're
Nas,
shit.
Yeah.
Nas wanted to bring up this shit. I see a kufi hat, some African garb or whatever. So I keep saying garb. Maybe because I'm drunk. Maybe because somebody praised me for saying it. I think it was Nas.
It's a good word.
Garb.
Garb.
All right, but let's see what the fuck Nas. I'm scared.
Black
Can y'all-
history be like? Oh no.
Y'all see this? Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let me see what my history be like.
Years ago, the tribe of Shabazz was the only surviving tribe of 13 that resided on Earth after a rogue scientist blew up the planet, splitting off the moon. Migrating to Egypt briefly, they would then settle in the Islamic holy city of Mecca, developing a technologically advanced society. But a group of citizens led by Shabazz himself traveled to empty Central Africa to harden their group and develop features. The tribe is said to have reached its peak in the year 4084 BC, but Shabazz would not.
We was advanced kings and shit.
What
He
is
was
this?
famous member of the
Oh,
tribe.
You whitey stole our shit.
We knew the keys to life.
Masters
That
of the
honor goes
universe.
to Yaqub, the creator of the white race. Born in Mecca, Yaqub was born with an extremely large head, which gave him
Oh my
unmatched
gosh.
intelligence. Discovering the law of attraction from playing with magnets, he theorized.
This is where the leader came from. Marvel's leader. They knew he was black, and they turned him green. Turned him to a
I swear to
freak,
God, this is beyond fucking stupid.
freak gamma radiated.
I don't know. I mean, after watching episode 3 of Avatar, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
He could create new people
course
who
you'd
could
be
attract
white.
others with lies.
Tricknology.
Trickonology.
Technology 120 degrees? Is that what that says?
And deceit to rule over the original black man. Exhausting the knowledge of Meccan universities at age 18, Yaqub discovered that a black man had a separate black and brown germ. With 59,999 followers, he went to the Isle of Pilan, modern-day Patmos, establishing a dictatorial regime in which black traits were bred out through a eugenics program, in which blacker-skinned babies were killed, but lighter-skinned babies were allowed to live. After 200 years, he would create the brown race. Yaqub would die at the age of 150 years old, but his followers continued his work, eventually creating the red and yellow races, until after 600 years, the white race was born. The brutal
Yay.
conditions made this race evil by nature.
He said
That's all.
gay.
Well, you guys know your history now,
Hey,
and we know ours.
I was wondering how it got to us.
It was lab experiments and shit.
Yeah.
You were mutations. You're literally mutants.
We're going this route too. We're creating AI. It's going to overtake us. You know, hey, it's all cycles.
Nah, that's why we watching this. There go Azula Nails.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Born with an innate desire to lie and murder black people, the white race would travel to Mecca, where they would wreak havoc and mayhem on the population. They were exiled to Europe, where
We built Transformers?
Fucking Transformers to get that
Continue.
point across.
I'm learning so much.
He said, keep going. It gets better. He's learning.
Meccan soldiers would patrol the border to prevent the devils from crossing. The whites would further degenerate into barbarism,
Oh my
living
gosh.
naked and eating raw meat. A man named Moses would teach them to wear clothes and try to civilize them. When he gave up, he blew up 300 of the worst white people with dynamite. The whites, however, had by this point learned tricknology, using trickery and lack of empathy to usurp power and enslave the black race, bringing the first slaves to America. Some whites realized they were evil and tried to go back to being black, but with nothing to go by, they instead became gorillas. Yaqub's progeny would usher in a period of violence and misery. The white race, starting in 1914, would rule for 6,000 years until the original black people regained world dominance. While white people would commit many atrocities, none.
Nah, this is an Avatar stream, bro.
Truffle pizza.
All those years at school, I knew they were lying to me. This is the new real world history.
Everything changed when Whitey attacked.
Where does Juan come into play in this, man?
Would be more famous than the Finno-Korean Hyperwar, an event well documented on the Master of Frofulness channel. You can watch by clicking the link in the pinned comment and description below.
Thanks for the money.
Oh my gosh.
All right, no more links from Nas.
What the hell did I just watch?
History.
Did I drink something? Am I on drugs or something? Because that could not be real.
This is what they don't. This is what they don't want you to know.
Correct.
This is what they don't want
That was
you
a
to know.
documentary.
Quiet, Whiteys. It's time to regain our power. Come on, man. Let's go out there and get it back.
So that's why you don't need to go to college. Everything you need to know is on YouTube.
Exactly.
You just got to know.
College is for sheep. College is for sheeple.
It's the truth.
I swear to God, this world's good. This world just keeps getting more stupid and stupid by the minute.
All right, as far as Avatar goes, I mean, do y'all want like last thoughts on the show? And I would say thoughts on.
I already gave all my thoughts on this. 2.5 out of 10. Plus
Wow, 0.5.
donkey shit.
The 0.5 is the sprinkles.
That's the sprinkles.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if you excuse me, I will leave now. My brain is. I believe I just had a brain aneurysm, and now I'm gonna go to bed.
All right, Fenrir, go
Probably
watch
shouldn't
Korra.
sleep after that.
All right.
Especially
This was
after that
fun,
history
guys.
lesson.
I'm sorry if I came out as a bit of a dick. That's just my nature.
No,
Yeah, bro.
you're a good
I know,
wolf.
man.
You're
You
a good
just
wolf.
you be
And
mad
a dragon.
at the bastardizations.
Yeah.
Accept it, bro. It's happening. I'm not saying you need to support the shit, but man, you know what's to come. Stop getting your
Yeah.
blood
Well,
pressure
before
all
I
up.
go, I will admit I would smash Cora, but I would probably do it with earplugs on, so I wouldn't have to listen to her. All right then.
Nah,
Peace, you all.
I want to hear her. Peace, bro.
Bye.
Later.
And she got a polar bear dog, bro. Cora, good with me. All right,
I
y'all.
I have a
I
husky.
know
Does
she'd
that
be the
count?
domineering one.
Heck yeah, that counts.
I just have a cat.
Ah, stop it.
Boo.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Boo this man.
Cats are awesome. What are you talking about?
Man, you gotta get you a big dog to balance out that gay energy you got going on with that cat.
Are you saying pussies are for pussies? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Exactly what I'm saying. Get you a big dog.
My apartment
Cat.
can't fit a big dog.
Kick Gordo. Gordo. The people have spoken. And by people, I mean just Copa. All right, y'all got thoughts on this episode? Anything that we kind of missed that you wanted to get out, that you want to say that you probably didn't?
Yeah, honestly, this is I'd probably rate this episode like a 3 out of 10. Like I said, I like the casting of Jet for the most part. I thought they did some okay things with some of the fights, but they also left a lot on the table.
Yeah.
I think this is really this 3 episodes in, this is where I kind of was resigned to the fact that this was just not going to be a good adaptation at all. It was like they mashed so much together, and the direction all the characters were heading was going pretty bad. So yeah, I think this is where, because like I said, the last episode I think is probably the best of the entire series so far.
So far, I agree with you.
Yeah, this is where I was like, it's not going to get any better, is it? And it doesn't.
It's just super convoluted. They tried to do too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying that that it only gets worse from here. Like that was the best episode, and I'm feeling it. I did enjoy the last episode, even though there was the strong woman shit going on. I was like, okay, this does have a place. I do want to see Kiyoshi be a badass, just not here. But yeah, all of this was just kind of meshed together. It makes no sense. Jet was good casting. I think it was good casting for the machinist, the machinist, whatever. I hate the stories being kind of put together because we're talking about plot holes that occur, and it doesn't really get the spirit of the original. One comment or something I thought about with the Zula, which I don't know, I guess we missed it, but when Azula was talking to May and Ty Lee, and she was saying like she was kind of upset that I guess the dad Ozai was recognizing Zuko for finding the Avatar. She was like, I'm the one risking my life with like rebel trash. And I was like, man, that's kind of beneath Azula. Like she
Yes.
really see it as risking her life. She knows she's in no danger at all. So I had issue with that dialogue, as well as she would say, or when she said, there's more than one, there's always, damn, what the fuck did she say? There's multiple.
There's many ways to get into the game. You just have to know which pieces to move, something like that.
Man, I wish I knew exactly, because it was the fact that she said always and ways like together. So it kind of seemed redundant.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Azula is smarter than that. The character of Azula and whoever wrote her dialogue is smarter than the person
Azula is
writing this
kind of the
dialogue for
primary
the show.
antagonist of the show. She's not the final boss, but she's the villain that carries the show. And they have severely undermined her in this because she's not imposing. She's got way too much self-doubt. It's like she's supposed to feel almost unbeatable for 2.5 seasons. You know, she's supposed to have it
Right.
together and be
She's
fully
always
confident,
in
fully sure of
control.
herself. Yeah. You're supposed to get the sense that this girl is in control. You're gonna
Until
have
she's not. That last episode. That's it.
exactly. It's like she has. I mean, because like they show waits like 2.5 seasons to start, putting cracks in her armor, and that's a really good idea. But here it's like, nope, the cracks are already there. She's barely a villain. They're borderline trying to make her sympathetic, and I don't like it.
Her bangs are already crooked.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's just upset with Ozai. So, like, this plan is not really hers to like mess around or reveal the rebel trash scum. That was Ozai's doing, and she's just following suit. She's just like doing what she's supposed to. And then I think it wasn't in this episode. I was watching further along, but when he had her like in the duels, like fighting, and she was failing because she wasn't ending her opponents like early enough. I don't want to jump too far ahead, and Jenna, I don't know if you've seen like later episodes, but
Not yet.
yeah, so it just seems like Azula is this pawn and Ozai is using her as opposed to him honestly just giving her free reign to do whatever the fuck she wanted because he believed in his daughter that much. He knew she was competent. He knew she was capable. He even said like, you're a prodigy, like you're Azulong. Like, I'm blessed to have this daughter. Like, fuck that boy I had, which is actually the opposite of what we see from, I would say, Asian cultures, but a lot of cultures where they value the son over the daughter. Here, he's like, fuck my son. He's a soft ass piece of shit. My daughter is the one that's going to continue my legacy. She's the badass in the animation, whereas in this, it's just
he's like, he did exactly as I told him. He did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's
So,
such a strange dynamic they've set up with her. I'll be honest, and granted, this is not based on anything I know, but I'm just saying, since they've approved seasons 2 and 3, I half expect them to have Azula join Team Avatar by the end of this. I really do. The way they're setting her up as being sympathetic, I half expect them to turn her good. And I'm like, gosh, I hope I'm wrong, but I'd kind of be surprised at this point if they didn't.
I see no reason for them to, like, they haven't set that up. Like, maybe with current
It's just the simple fact that they've planted the seeds to make her sympathetic rather than evil, because she's not evil at this point. She's bad, but they've already pushed the blame off to her dad.
Right.
It's like,
she's
this
bad,
is the reason
but she's following
bad.
orders. Yeah. It's
well,
not even her.
Even when the dad set the rebels on fire, she
should have been the one doing
that.
it. She should have been the one.
But she enjoyed it. So they showed her face and she was like, oh yeah, this is what we're about. So I mean, they're still making her a villain, but they're making her this brat of, I'm not just going to continue what my father has done. It seems like now she's trying to, I'm not going to say usurp her father, but she's like, okay, I can do it better. He doesn't know what he wants. He has all of this faith in Zuko, and I'm just here just carrying out orders. I think they're trying to make her not respect her father and have her own plans of ambition, and you'll see the strong women, the queen, rise up.
That's kind of why I think she's gonna end up good. Because
I don't think so.
She's gonna do what all daddy or girls with daddy issues do and become a stripper.
Exactly. I see her going the Hella route from the MCU, where it's like, my dad did me wrong, my brothers are weak as fuck, I'm the only one who has the power and the smarts, the intelligence to truly to get what needs to be done accomplished. So I see more of that route. Not giving her that whole redemption arc. They're gonna give it to Zuko because the actor is gay. So reasons. But they're gonna make her the big bad. Ozai is just gonna be a stepping stone to get to Azula, who's
That
had
could
this
be the
plan all
alternative.
along.
That like I'll say is if they don't make her good, the alternative probably would be that she kills Ozai and she is the main baddie. That probably would be the alternative. It's going to be one of those two.
Yeah. I think that's where they're going, man, because she does not like Ozai at this point. And in the show, she revered her father. She's like, he's that guy. Because of him, I'm regal. I'm feeling myself. I'm in that position to be better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's something that I thought she
She's
would
a
have
daddy's
said.
girl.
She's a daddy's girl. Like daddy has the power. We're the badasses. She enjoys their status.
Yeah,
Whereas
she
Zuko,
is simpatico with her father, and that was bold back then. I mean, you have a cartoon with I think she's like 16 in the cartoon. It's like you have a 16-year-old girl who is legitimately evil. She is legitimately evil, and they even weave in sympathetic elements at the end, but it doesn't change the fact that she is genuinely horrible.
I'm glad you said that because in the animation, it does seem like she does care about Zuko to some degree. Probably not a
Yeah.
whole lot, but she's like,
In the flashbacks.
it's like instead of just dismissing my brother and not giving a fuck what happens to him, I want to get him over to this side. Maybe because she could use him, but I felt like she actually did care about him.
I mean, it's primarily out of usefulness, but I think the fact that he comes on board with her and defeats the Avatar, he does get some respect from her finally, but she
Yeah.
still obviously is wary enough to be like, yeah, let's see if this lasts, and she's still playing with him the rest of the show.
And
So,
she
but
is a look.
that final fight between them, because you've built all that up so well, is so genuinely tragic because of the way it's been constructed. Here it's like that's just, I don't see how that's going to happen. Their duel would probably suck at this point.
I think and as I'm thinking about it, I'm like that makes Azula more of a more endearing character because she does. I truly believe she cares about Zuko. He was her big brother. He did care about her. Ozai is like, sure, she's a weapon. She felt like the mom was more afraid of her, but Zuko was somebody like
Well, I
come
mean,
on,
you
little
could think
sister,
that
get your shit
probably
together.
because I mean, obviously the thing that starts to get into that you start to learn in her psyche is that her mom's feelings towards her is kind of a lot of what hardened her. And probably when she's around Zuko, that's the closest thing she has to memory of her mother, because Zuko obviously was very close to the mother. And he's probably a constant reminder of her, which is, I guess, it's that's a good and a bad thing for her. Is because I mean,
Yeah.
she obviously was hurt by the fact that her and her mom did not get along because she was, kind of evil. But yeah, I think she would be fine with a relationship with Zuko, but she's fine tossing it aside if it can't happen. She's not
Yeah,
utterly inhuman, which is more interesting than just making her that. But she's just too far gone to turn good.
Yeah, I think it's that. It's more so of I hate you, Zuko, because you're not allowing me to use you like I want. Like if I can have you on my side, then it's like, oh yeah, I love my big brother, Zuzu. But she's still using him at the same time. I think that's more of the relationship that she wants, and she can't get that from him. So he's willingly, what's the word? Like he's not choosing her. And that's the issue that she has. I don't have control over this. It's not happening how I want. My master plan is like it's not going through or going the way that I want it. Yeah, man, I like Azula. I truly think she is a very emotional character, but with emotions, that can lead to some very negative actions and trying to control this person that is close to you. But this Azula has none of that, man. She's a fucking brat, and and she's chubby at the same time. She's a round faced. But I mean, that's about it, man. Yeah, this episode was whack. But I'm excited for the next one. Jana has to go. We're about to get out of here too. All right, Jana, you're the first one. Plug what you need, what you got going on.
I don't have anything going on, but Copa does. So Copa, drop your link in the chat.
Copa, drop your link. I see the wrench next to your name.
He has a new video out and a new one coming every week. Almost
Dune.
Yeah.
Fucking Dune.
His Dune review
I'm gonna
funny.
watch. I'm gonna watch his Dune video is when I can't see the movie until Monday, so that's when I'm gonna watch his video.
Oh, it's so good. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's always funny.
Oh yeah.
Jacob,
That's
I
all
don't
I
know the ages. Okay. Well, all right, Jenna, if you got a dip, there you go. Circle of Jerks, y'all. I don't know what's happening with Circle of Jerks tomorrow. But I don't know. Keep your ear out for that.
Bye, Jenna.
I should have been hosting by now, so shit, we'll see. I'll try to make it happen. Gord, what you got coming up, man?
Okay, so one quick word. Okay, so Tuesday I typically do the King's Court. I'm not going to be doing one this week. I actually have a work situation I have to attend to this week, but it will return the following week. We're going to be doing Beetlejuice on the 19th. It's going to be me, Jacob Ironside, and Fermented Cinema. This Monday, I'm going to be hanging with Stupenzo. We're going to be talking about the Oscars, and I did an Oscar stream some weeks back, and we all made predictions, so we're going to see how well we did on those. Let's see. I've got a lot going on this week, I think. Shoot. I'm on Roman of the Empire's show on Thursday. We're going to be talking about our favorite Irish films. And my video game streams, I'm back to doing those. So I think I'll probably do one on Monday and Wednesday this coming week. And I have already started my script for Rings of Power Episode 3. I have already written 10 pages for that episode, and I'm only a third of the way through, and that's generally about 25 minutes worth of material minimum. That's a lot for this. I didn't think the first time I watched the episode I would have that much, but the more I've really dug into the dialogue, I'm like, this might end up being my longest video on the series yet, because holy crap, it's terrible. But and aside from that, I think I'm something like 22 subscribers away from 1,000. So yeah, keep pushing, tell your friends about the channel. Hopefully they'll subscribe.
All right, people. If you're not subscribed to the Gourd King, go ahead and do that.
Just know if you don't, kidney stones.
Kidney stones. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
So to avoid it, words have power, people. To avoid that, go ahead and subscribe to them. But check out the content. I tell people that don't just subscribe and don't watch the shit. You're doing them no favors there. You're not helping the man out. Yeah. Watch it. Put it on in the background. Mute him if you don't give a fuck about what he's talking about, but you're at least helping him get his watch hours. Same for myself. Y'all got to get back to making the videos. I promise y'all I will. This Avatar stuff has been boosting my spirits, man. I'm talking about something. There hasn't been anything that's been happening that I really gave a shit about, but Avatar I do. I'm definitely a fan of this series, so this is cool to talk about this stuff with some fellow fans, some passionate people. Fenrir is extra fucking passionate, but you know, glad he was on. He came through. But yeah, I want to do more stuff like this. Just talk about stuff. And something I appreciate, man, we don't use the word woke. I'm tired of that word. I hate that fucking word. We can judge things without having to rely on modern day or current contemporary rhetoric. How do we feel about the show, the good and the bad? So yeah, man, it's been fun. Gord, I appreciate you being here. Jana, you're fucking amazing. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And you will be back.
Yeah.
You will be back next week. He's our Aang. I'm Sokka. Jana's Katara. We might keep it there. until because they got the new seasons 2 and 3, so we're going to get a Toph at some point. We'll figure out who's going to be Toph for the panel, and then Zuko. But yeah, that'll come. What's today? Friday. Yeah, I don't want to play Red Dead. I just got a new mic. I'm gonna say Facebook Marketplace. That's the spot, man. People sell some good shit. Okay, just don't get shot. Going to pick it up, but I got a new mic. I want to use it. Look, man, I might stream some Red Dead. If not today, man.
Oh, dude, you've played Red Dead before, though, haven't you?
For sure.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
sir.
It's funny because I've actually been playing those games recently. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII on stream right now, but in my free time, if I'm playing something, it's been Red Dead. I'd finished Red Dead 1 again, probably for like the 6th time, and then I did Undead Nightmare, and now I'm on Red Dead 2.
Oh my goodness!
It's one of the best series ever. It's one of the best series ever.
It is, man. Shagsworth was streaming yesterday, and we talked about it real quick, slightly. But yeah, man, Red Dead 1 has the better story. Red Dead 2, I think, has the better gameplay. But that's just to be expected. With
I'll take Red Dead over GTA any day of the week.
Oh, for sure. Fuck GTA. I don't care about that shit. I do the same thing all day, every day. You steal somebody's car, go shoot some people, pick up the cash.
I can do that in real life.
Yeah, man, but I can't build this bond with this horse and be this outlaw and all that, man. Yeah, Red Dead over GTA. And I'm thinking about it. You're making me want to play. I gotta go check on my dogs and all that type of stuff, but yeah, keep it locked, people. I'm gonna play Red Dead soon. I gotta get back to it. Usually I play on Sundays. Anyway, I think I'm stalling for time. I just enjoy being here with the people. Gord, let's get out of here, man. Let me find something to play for the people. And then we're out. Let's go ahead.
All right.
You good? All right. Peace, people.
Not the alpha male. I, Mojo Jojo, am the alpha. It isn't fair. He gets all the girls.
First day? Sheep in the big cafeteria. Stick to your own kind.
Check it out, boo-boo.
Hey, gang!
Hey, Fred!
Now that he's friends with the Powerpuff Girls, Fred thinks he's too good for us.
Get lost, sheep. You're on my seat.
This table's reserved.
Villains only. Come on, Sheep. You can sit with us.
Yes, go sit with the freaks.
Freaks? Have you looked in a mirror? Listen up! When it comes right down to it, we're all freaks. Every one of us. And that's what makes this network great. Who you calling freak, freak? Yeah!
This is why I never come here anymore. So here's the deal. Life doesn't always want to be your friend. Sometimes it'll feel like life wants to hurt you.
That was a counter.
But you can't just hide, because nobody likes a quitter.
I'll go first.
You gotta take chances.
This fire isn't gonna stop me.
They never said it was gonna be fun or easy. Whether you're totally ready or when you least expect it, doesn't matter. Life will punch you right in the face.
Your resistance is futile.
Now you can lie there for a second. Cry a little if you need to. But get back on your feet, because it's the getting back up that counts. That's what shows you've got heart. That's what helps keep you going.
Hit me with everything you've got.
Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
I don't want to go down. Not without a fight.
No, we'll be right there with you.
Wake up. Be all that you can be.
Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.